as you are in this crystalline pyramid filled with the music of the spheres and all of the divine frequencies that are necessary for you. As you bring your soul inquiry forward and invite the frequency of truth in, you are open, you are willing, you activate your divine will, you grow your courage, and you expand in love, and in this you offer this orb that within it is able to communicate with your cellular structure. It is able to transmit from the quantum fields the attachments or frequencies or belief systems that you have attached to this word. And what is this word? As you enter into the crystalline skull, or you enter into your crystal that you have brought as it grows itself, because you are standing within wisdom, because the light streams from the apex above and the apex below in this perfect diamond-shaped crystalline pyramid that has been designed specifically for you. It is filled with hope, because we understand that at this time, many of you have been feeling hopelessness. Because when there are immense energies and polarizations between humans, this can trigger hopelessness. And what it is truly triggering is it is offering you the opportunity to polarize yourself towards love or away from love. And this leads us into the beautiful word that we have chosen today, which is deserve. Deserve. Feel into that. Ask for the source intelligence to meet your consciousness through this orb of light that you have so lovingly from your heart placed the word, the template, the frequency of deserve into this incredible light, this orb. While it is in this orb, you are able to see clearly frequencies, love. How often do you use the word deserve? How do you experience deserve in your everyday life? Do you use it as something that is qualifying for yourself? Meaning, do you believe that you deserve food, water, freedom, abundance, money? How have you experienced others using deserve with you? Have you ever experienced the parent, the preacher, or the teacher ask you, I don't know, what did you do to deserve that? Or do you deserve this? For those of you that struggle with worthiness, we challenge you to free yourself from even using this word so that you can experience without it. Mahana is transmitting frequencies for you about this. And what is beautiful about the animal collective is that they are not concerned with whether or not they deserve a treat or a walk, because they are completely in the moment and they flow with the moment. They do not wonder if you deserve them or they deserve you or if they deserve food or not. It is not that it is expected or demanded, but that they are open. They are open to being in service and of service to others, and that includes you because they are unconditional love. They are free of deserve. Because the people who deserve are functioning from the lower self or the ego. They are not free in the mind. They have not reclaimed the mind. So as you feel into this orb and that you are looking into what deserve means to you and how you experience this, feel into the frequencies that are being lovingly transmitted through the Syrians, through Mahana, through the animal collective, because that is the space that she holds as she is bringing light into this space and bringing heart energy into it. Shunyai Hundukayung Gundai Handan Yangandaya Shumbain Yagungan Yalayam Bumban Yalaya Humban Yayando Hamban Yalaya Gungai Shunya Bandur Shamban Yaya Abu Shamban Yala Umbai Andaya Bandai Ahukan Yalaya Hamban Yalai Hungan Yalata Shumban Gandushan Ingan Yalata Shumban Yalataya Gungan Yalataya Umban Yala Umbamba Shunyaya Tua Shumban Umba Shunyaya Kundatu Shunyai Humban Yala Shunyaya La Shunyai Himba shumban yalata bumban Humba shumbai ahumbai Amana shumbanara shumbain Yololara hunga shumbai Alulai shunyaya humbaya bo anda shumba anga tu ashunyala umbach In yalataya humbaya shumba hamba handa shumbaya gungan yalataya bumban yalatay Imma shunyalataya gunganda shinyala tu shanyala da du shanyalataya buhamba hamba handa shumbaya da inda. Imbanyalata shumbai. Inyalataya umbahan yalataya shumba shumba shum. Inyalataya humbaya lataya shumbahiyata tumbah. Iyalata tumbah. Himman yalataya umbangan yalataya bumbangan yalataya umban yalataya gunga shunyai. Humban yalata shumban yalata shumban yalata shumban yalata shumbai ambai bai ambai bai ambumbai ambumbai andu shunyai ahumbai 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 ambum I am by bumbu I ando ahando ahandai ambumbangan yalai humban yalataya humban yalai humban yalalai andu I ahumbai ahumbai ahanda shumbai. The definition of deserve is to merit, to be worthy of, for qualities or actions. To be worthy of or earn. From the Latin, de servir. To serve well. And what we find interesting about this is that originally it was to serve well and to serve completely. And then over time, it shifted. It involved to be entitled to because of the service. And it became less about the service or the willingness to serve. And it became about the entitlement of the service, the worthiness of the server, and in essence, became about worthiness, or to place constraints upon the service. So the service became an expectation. The service became about serving the power. And through your service, you began to become worthy through your actions, to be accepted by or to be acknowledged by the power, rather than being in service to others from the power that is within you and the power of source. But again, this comes back to sovereignty and how one gives their sovereignty over to be in service. And the frequencies are in the word itself, because the word D comes before serve, which means it is a preposition that means from or away from. So that in itself, it is away from serving. It degrades, it is down, it degrades the service, removal. It is away from service, removal, and separation. So deserve involves a separation from the original beauty and purity of the expression of unconditional love, which means to be of service. And then we put the word D in front of it, D-E. And then the service became separate from the unconditional love, and it became serving the power. And then when we remember that when we are born, again, it is feminine first. We are all born female until the moment that the chromosomes say otherwise, and then the masculine physical takes place, and then the female continues to be female. And in addition, it is the heart that begins our journey. It is the heart that is the first to appear in the embryo. It is the resonance that we experience first. As we begin to resonate with the heartbeat of the mother within the crystalline waters, we experience the heart first. When we first become embodied and our divine light structure that offers us the opportunity to be of service within this experience develops from the heart, because the heart is the first to appear in the embryo, and it is the resonating one, because we are meant to feel the world and not the hierarchy. We are here to serve the world and not the power or the hierarchy, because it is the hierarchy that is false. It is the hierarchy that is inorganic. It is the hierarchy that creates the frequencies that separates us from our divinity, that is to serve from light and love, to serve as source, because we are source. And instead, it becomes about deserving, and we are removed, we are separated from our service, and it becomes about showing actions, and then we have attachments to the way in which we serve. And then we begin to create programs and belief systems that we project upon our children because we were believing them and they were programmed within us. And then we wonder why it is that we are unable to create a sense of security, or that we are able to have abundance, because there are parts that are buried within our subconscious that we are constantly questioning within ourselves. Do we deserve this? Do we deserve joy? Because from our perspective, what we are noticing is that humans feel that they must do something in order to deserve joy, in order to deserve love. And as proof was the previous word choice, oftentimes what is happening is that you are proving to yourself that you deserve something that you have labeled as good? What if sustenance? What if water? What if freedom? What if your spiritual gifts? What if your memory? What if all of it was your, and it is your divine birthright? You do not need to take an action in order to prove your worthiness, because that which is source, that which is God, that which is unconditional love, that which is the core of the earth, of the new earth star, already accepts you for who you are. No one but you and the human projections around you are asking you to deserve, to be in a state of deserving. Because it is the servant that must prove themselves to deserve something. If you wish to stay in the enslavement programs, then yes, continue. But we wish again to free yourself, to bring this to the fire and to burn it. And we are not saying that to be of service is not necessary, but it is a problem or a struggle or a challenge that we observe, because when you are mixing deserving up with your service, then you begin to create expectations and attachments, and you are not truly open. You are not in that state of wonder or awe or in the moment of joy and experience. And then the moment begins to collapse on itself, and you begin to close off the streams of frequencies of energies that are coming to you. And again, you begin to feel the hierarchy, not the world. You become separate from your heart, and again, you are in the mind, wondering, not even wondering, but punishing yourself, participating in acts of deprecation, because you feel unworthy, because the hierarchy has somehow programmed you to believe that you are less than. And we understand that it is not the fault of parents, because this was a program that was built into them, that you must deserve, that you must serve so that you can go to heaven. But truly it is, we feel and see this in many of you, that you are truly serving so that you do not go to hell. And do you see the difference between that? Can you feel the difference between being of service in order to avoid going to hell versus being of service in order to get to heaven, versus being of service because you emanate the unconditional love, you fully accept who you are in all of your imperfections? And you are able to be of service without attachment to outcome, without attachment to how many followers or likes that you have. Because you all deserve to serve, free from attachments. Because through your service is how you experience the unconditional love that is you. And when you are able to be of service, as you have heard many of us say, as I heal, you heal. As you heal, I heal. For I am you and you are me. And in this way, I recognize the divine in you and you recognize the divine in me. And as such, I am in service to you without expectation that you serve me, but that I am free in my choice and my sovereignty, and through that I serve. When I have the bandwidth and through self-care and self-love, when I am able, I serve. Because I desire to serve, not because when I serve, it makes me deserve, so that I can deserve myself or earn my way into the good graces of God. Thank you, religion. And it was religion, historically, that has fought wars, told women that they did not deserve and that they were meant to serve, and that they were told who and what they were to desire, and how they were to experience pain. Genesis 3:16. In pain you shall bring forth children, yet your desire shall be your husband. Honor thy father and mother. Be of service to them without question. Hand over your sovereignty. Don't speak your native language. Let us create assimilation programs and remove you from the culture, remove you from the codes and the information that are coming through indigenous peoples who are connected to the stars. What they are removing, what the hierarchy is removing, is the memories, and they are creating fear. They are creating programs. So when you are so terrified to speak your language, and then the language that is terrifying you, you wouldn't want to speak that either. So what do? You go into silence and you say nothing. And then the emotions, they sit there and they fester. And you are traumatized. You have been dislocated from the information that comes through your indigenous languages. You have been colonized. Your bodies have been abused and you have been colonized. The body as the homeland has been brutalized, has been raped, has been destroyed, so that you have gotten to the point where you no longer feel safe in your physical structure, which was created out of and in unconditional love from the earth herself, with the unconditional love of you. When your body can no longer be your homeland and you can no longer find solace in the physical structure that is the light body that allows you to experience this planet, that allows you to move through wisdom and through soul expressions at such a fast pace. This is in many reasons why beings choose to become human beings and to have an earthly experience, is because within a blink of an eye it is over and your soul has grown exponentially in an extremely short amount of time. But it is also challenging and is a risk, because you come here in this veil of separateness and you experience deserve. You experience the hierarchy and everything in many ways. It's all divinely planned for you to experience your own divine revelations. That is always omnipresent, but so is everything that tries to get you out of your heart and into mental loops, to keep you out of unconditional love and in the frequency of fear. So every situation that you experience is offering you de-serve and serve. It is offering you both. The unconditional love is always there. If you are willing to look beyond belief, if you are willing to experience the wonder of everything that is present, we promise you that unconditional love is always present. It is why, if any of you have experienced abuse to such a degree, why when somebody comes to you and says you do not deserve that, it is not your fault. You did not deserve it. Because think about manipulation. When it is used against you, you are told that you deserve this. You deserve to be brutalized, to be punished, to be beaten. And then the opposite is true, where you begin to tell children that if they get A's, they will deserve money, or that they will deserve a reward. And there is nothing wrong with encouraging someone to follow their passions so that they are able to be in the flow, and so that they can discover themselves, so that they can achieve good grades because it is their desire to do so. But not because if they do not achieve that they will be punished. So for those of you that are parents, we suggest that you find an approach that is encouraging, that is serving rather than de-serving. And if you have found yourself creating systems based on deserving, there is no judgment. But we ask you to look within your own inner child and to see how this was used with you. Where are the patterns that you bring the energies of deserving into your life? Because we also see that for those of you that feel that they need to do something in order to deserve something else, oftentimes many of you will begin to tell yourself little white lies so that you can actually end up getting what it is that you are trying to set yourself up to deserve. So if you accomplish X and Y, and after that then you will deserve Z, then sometimes you will go ahead and give yourself Z without accomplishing X, Y, and then allow your lower self or your ego to have it anyway, and then make up stories to yourself. Or you will give yourself the reward because you deserve it, or even if you don't, and then you will sabotage or criticize yourself, and then you create another pattern within this pattern, where then you are upset at yourself, and why did you give yourself the reward? Because you didn't deserve it. And then you are in internal conflict, all based on deserve, which was designed to separate you from serving without attachment, without expectation, without attachment to outcome. And when we aren't attached to outcome, what are we? We then become the unlimited divine creators that we are. Whoa. We become the unlimited divine creators that we are when we free ourselves from the outcomes and the attachments to our ability to serve. That is not by accident. Look at your life and see where you have allowed a program or a system from a very old paradigm to limit you, to separate you. to separate you from the heart, to separate you from source, to create programs that keep you away from your authentic divine self, which is to remember that you are unconditional love, that you are whole the way that you are, exactly as you are, regardless of how many things or qualities that you perceive to be negative, or whether or not you deserve something, because all of this is keeping you away from your divinity and from your true essence, which is you are the created ones, and as such, you are the creators. So anything that keeps you out of creating is a program that is designed to take your energy from you so that it can be used to be in service of a different self, so that it can be used against you, so that it can be used to keep you small. It is what feeds the false matrix. It is what feeds inorganic memories and timelines. It is what keeps you confused. So we challenge you for a week. Free yourself from the word deserve and see how often you use it. Or maybe another word that is similar, like I must earn it. And yes, there is something to say about creating, and through that creation and that openness and magnetizing in this incredible universe. Notice that we did not say work or work hard or struggle for. What we focus on is the embodiment and the experience of creating and of using the heart. So when you are able to co-create from the heart and be in that experience, that is being of service. That is not earned. That is accessing your divine birthright through being in the flow and going through a space of being in balance between doing and being. And yes, there is doing, and that can feel like work sometimes, but to allow joy into the experience, because when you bring joy and love into your process, you begin to access the divine creator, which is already a part of you. So become the divine and the source light. Keep the service and the source of being in service, and release the deserve. Who? say thank you, thank you, thank you. May peace and joy be your journey. We love you, we love you, we love you.